everyone, welcome to Math Quiz. In this video, I am going to explain how to calculate Carl-Pearson's coefficient of correlation using step deviation method. If all the deviations of x or y series or both are divided by some constant value, then we have to prefer the step deviation method. Already we have discussed all three methods. Now we are in the last method of calculation of Carl-Pearson's of correlation coefficient. As a first method, we have to discuss already as actual mean method. The second one, direct method, and the third one, shortcut method, and the last, this is what we are going to discuss now, that is step deviation method. So these are all the four methods which we have used to calculate Carl-Pearson's coefficient of correlation. It is one of the very efficient method to calculate the correlation coefficient. Under what situations we have to prefer these methods? I am just giving you a simple revision of all this in short here. Based on the values of x and y and the arithmetic mean x bar and y bar, we have to prefer the methods. Suppose the values of x and y are in terms of small numbers and also the arithmetic means of x bar and y bar are in terms of whole numbers, we have to choose the actual mean method. In case if the actual mean x bar and y bar are in terms of fractions, even though x and y takes the value small values, if it in terms of fractions, then we go for direct method, because in that situation it is very difficult to calculate the Pearson correlation coefficient using actual mean method. So we have to prefer direct method in such cases. Suppose instead of taking the values of x and y as a small in numbers, if it takes large values, and also the values of x bar and y bar is in terms of fractions or whole numbers, whatever that may be, we have to prefer the shortcut method, because if the values of x and y seems to be large, means it is very difficult to use the direct method to calculate the Pearson's coefficient. So in that case, we have to prefer the shortcut method. Then when we prefer the step deviation method is, in shortcut method, we have to take the deviations from assumed mean. After taking the deviations from the assumed mean, that is, here we have to take x deviations and y deviation. That is deviations of x values from assumed mean A, dy is nothing but deviations of y values from the assumed mean. After taking the deviations of x and y values from its assumed mean, if all the deviations of x series or y series or both are divided by some constant value, then we prefer the step deviation method. In order to avoid the difficult calculations or the lengthy calculations, in order to simplify our calculation part, we have to use the step deviation method in such cases. So for that, we make use of the formula r is equal to n sigma dx dash dy dash minus sigma dx dash sigma dy dash over under root n sigma dx dash square minus sigma dx dash the whole square under root n sigma dy dash square minus sigma dy dash the whole square. The only difference in the formula between the shortcut method and the step deviation method is we have to use dx dy instead of dx dash and dy dash. Here dx dash refers to dx over some constant c, that is step deviations of x values from an assumed mean. Dy dash refers dy over some constant c, which is refers to the step deviations of y values from an assumed mean. Sigma dx dash refers to sum of step deviations of x values, and sigma dy dash refers to sum of step deviations of y values, and sigma dx dash square refers to sum of squares of the step deviations of x values, and sigma dy dash whole square refers to sum of squares of step deviations of y values, and sigma dx dash dy dash refers to sum of the products of dx dash and dy dash. As usual, n refers the number of pairs of observation. With this short introduction, let me now move on to an example and discuss how we are to calculate the Pearson's coefficient using this method. Calculate Pearson coefficient of correlation. Here the values of x and y are given. X takes the value 10, 30, 50, 70 and 90. Corresponding values of y are 350, 280, 540, 760 and 900. Here the x and y value seems to be large. So we have to prefer the step deviation method here. So for that the Pearson correlation coefficient is given by the formula R is equal to, here I am just giving you the formula for your reference. Now to calculate the value of R, we have to first calculate the values of sigma dx dash, sigma dy dash, sigma dx dash square, sigma dy dash square, sigma dx dash and dy dash. So for that, let me first construct a table whereas the first column consists of the given values of x and the fifth column consists of the given values of y. First let me calculate dx, that is deviations of x values from its assumed mean, that is x minus a. Here the total number of values here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you have to take any value as your assumed mean. Basically I have to take the central value as my assumed mean value. So I have to take the central value 50 as my assumed mean value. So dx is equal to x minus 50. So subtracting 10 minus 50 we get minus 40, 30 minus 50 minus 20, 50 minus 50 0, 70 minus 50 20 and 90 minus 50 40. Next, what we are going to do next is you have to calculate dx dash, because look at the values of dx here. Here all the values of dx is divided by some constant. Do you know which constant here? Value is 20. So all the value having 20 as a common factor. So I have to use my dx dash as dx by 20. When you divide all the values by 20, minus 40 over 20, that is minus 2, 20 by 20, 1, 0 by anything 0, 20 by 21, 40 by 20, 2. Next, we calculate dx dash square. Just square these values. Minus 2 square 4, minus 1 square 1, 0 square 0, 1 square 1, 2 square 4. Next, the same process is for y value 2. We have to subtract all values of y. Minus 540 we get 350 minus 540, you get the total as minus 190, 280 minus 540, you get the value as minus 260, 540 minus 540 0, 760 minus 540, we get the total as 220, and 900 minus 540, you get the total as 360. Look at all the values of dy. Here all of them having some common factor, that is dy dash, that is you have to divide all of them by 10. So when you divide all the values by 10, you get minus 19, 260 by 10 minus 26, 0, 220 by 10 is 22 and 360 by 10 is 36. Next we have to take the square value dy dash square. Squaring 19 square is 361 and 26 square is 676, 0 square 0 and 22 square is 484 and 36 square is 1296. Next, you have to multiply dx dash with dy dash. This is your dx dash and this is your dy dash. So 2 19s are 38 plus 38 because there is minus, minus becomes plus. Next, minus 1 minus 26, that is plus 26. Next, 0 multiplied with 0 0 and 1 22. 1 multiplied with 22 22 itself and 2 multiplied with 36 you get 72. So now we get all the values. So now we calculate the value of r. We need the total of sigma dx dash dy dash, that is here dx dash dy dash, that is equal to, and next we need the total sigma dx dash, and next we need the value sigma dy dash, and we need the total sigma dx dash square and sigma dy dash square. We need all these total value. Now let me first calculate sigma dx dash, that is minus 2 minus 2 0 1 2. Here we get 0 because these two becomes cancelled and these two become 0. So overall the total value is 0 itself. And sigma dx dash square 4 plus 1 5, 5 total 10. Next, dy dash, here minus 19 minus 26 plus 22 plus 36, we get the total as 13. Next, sigma dy dash square, that is 361 plus 676 plus 484 plus 1296. You get the total as 2817. Next, sigma dx dash dy dash, that is 38 plus 26 plus 22 plus 72. You get the value as 152. Oh, sorry, 158. Now substituting all these values in the given formula, n represents the total number of pairs of observations. Since we are having 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 dx dash dy dash is 158 minus sigma dx dash 0, sigma dy dash is 13 over under root n, n is 5, sigma dx dash square is 10 minus sigma dx dash whole square, that is 0 square, under root 5, that is n value is 5, dy dash square is 2817 minus dy dash, that is 13 square. Next, by simplifying this we get 5 multiplied by 158, you get 790 minus 0 multiplied with 13, 0 over 5 multiplied by 10 is 50. If you take the square of 50, you get 7.071. We have to take up to 3 decimal places. So 7.071. Now 5 multiplied by 2817. C equals 14,085 minus 13 square is equal to 13,916. If you take the square of this value, you get 117.966. So product 117.966. Now 790 over 7.071 multiplied with 117.966, you get 834.14. We have to take up to 2 decimal places. When you divide 790 by 834.14, you get the total as we have to take up to 2 decimal places, 0.95. So the value of R is 0.95. So based on the value of R, our conclusion is there is a high degree of positive correlation between X and Y. So based on this value, there exists a high degree of positive correlation between the two variables. That means there exists a strong relationship between the two variables X and Y. Let me now show you the scatter diagram of these two variables. So look at here, there is an increase in relationship. So there is very small deviations of the points from the line. So this graph shows that there exists a high degree of positive correlation between the two variables, but based on this correlation coefficient, we get an exact idea about how much closer the relationship between the two variables, that is how strong the relationship is between the two variables X and Y. So there exists a high degree of positive correlation between the two variables X and Y. Hope you got a clear idea about how to calculate Pearson's coefficient using step deviation method. Thanks for watching. See you again in my next video.